This video is actually an extension of a previous video. The video was showing how to create just the generic animation where your pieces get pulled out, and what I wanted to show you in this video is actually all the really cool things you can actually do with this program. So the first thing you can do is go back to Tweak Components, and let's say I'm going to pull each piece out and green check clear, just like we did before. Let's say I think I'm going to push this one out. Even though it passed through the blue piece, I will change the order in which this happens so that they don't do that when they assemble together. And I think when they, whoops, I'll undo that. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to make this one go down, this one check, this one come back out a little ways. Okay, so if I were to animate this, pretty simple. I'm actually even going to change that to a 10 just so it goes really quickly. But you'll see that this is kind of what we've seen in the past. Nothing exciting. So what I wanted to show you is you can do a lot more. You can do things like under Tweak, we've just been doing direction and linear. So the transformation is linear. That's what that straight line means. If I come down and check this little dot and rotate, let's say if I pick this face, what it's going to do is it's going to rotate itself about the z-axis, if you can imagine what that looks like. So I'm going to click on this face and see how now if I zoom in, that little blue circle around the Z, or that arrow around the Z, I'm going to change that to say a full 360 degrees. And then check mark and clear. So because it rotated a full 360, it doesn't look like anything changed. But if I go to animate, and I hit play, that's going to be the first thing that happens. Okay? Again, I hit play, it'll do a spin, then go into that assembly. So what I'm going to do is say, let's spin this one. I'm going to have it spin sideways. So again, here's my Z. So if I click this face, my arrow is showing that I'm going to spin around that little dot, or around that axis. So again, I'll pick 360. Check mark, clear, close, animate. So now it'll spin the green one, then it'll spin the orange one, and then it'll assemble them. Okay, and it goes through the whole thing. Alright, so what I'm going to do though, I'm going to hit play. That's not the order. I want the green one to spin the opposite. So instead of spinning clockwise, I'm going to reset this. I'm going to change that. So if I open plus next to the explosion, plus next to the cube assembly, and find my green part, hit plus, you can see both tweaks. This tweak is the linear tweak 5 inches. Here's my tweak 360 degrees. What I'm going to actually do is edit that. Looks like I have to come down here and do it. And do negative 360. Now if I animate this, watch what happens. It changed it to go counterclockwise. So that's one thing. You can definitely do a lot of cool things with spinning, but that's only half of it. So notice that it spins one piece, then it spins the orange, then it translates them. What I want to show you is what's the really cool part to me is that if you hit this little double arrow at the bottom of your animation window, if I click on that, watch what happens. I've got this whole list of sequence. So you notice that sequence step 1, the green part spins. Step 2, I'm going to reset this. Step 1, the green part spins. Step 2, orange spins. Then green translates straight, and then red straight, blue, and so on. What I want to do is I want to take my green spin and my green translate. So if I hit the shift key and select, if I hit green, part 1, linear movement, I'm going to click move up, and it's going to move step 3. It's going to move that ahead to step 2. So I'm going to click that. So now my green part 1 and part 2 are now together. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to spin and move at the same time. It just means that it's going to spin the green, then move the green. I'm going to do the same thing with orange. I'm going to have to move this one up a few times. And now we have green spin, and then green translate. Then orange spin, then orange translate. So, on top of that, if I were to just apply that and play, what you'll see is it'll spin it, then move it. Spin it, then move it. Okay, that's kind of fun, right? But that's still not what I wanted to really show you. If you click the green part and you hold the control key down and hit the green part again, if I highlight both of them, I now have this option here lit up. If I group them, watch what happens to sequence 1 and 2. If I hit group, it changed them both to sequence 1. So if I hit orange and then the control key, hold down the control key and select orange part 1 again, and I hit group, I now have sequence 1, 1, 2, 2, then 3, 4, 5. And then apply. And now this is what I really wanted to show everyone. If you hit play, it's going to spin it as it translates it. Remember, see, step 1 is to tweak the angle and the distance. So I'll play this real quick. You can see how it's spun together. And let's reset that. In fact, I'll slow that back down to 20. Apply. So again, watch what happens. It spins it and moves it in together. And then the rest are still the same. Okay? That's what I want you to try and do as an extension activity is don't just make the pieces slide in together. And that's great. It looks good. But it's not very fun. It's not very challenging. In the end, what it should look like is this. This is my completed animation. And I should be able to get them all in here. I'll go at a rate of 20 and show you what this looks like. So after I applied all of them, I made sure none of them pass through each other, but they all spin and translate at the same time. So here it goes. There it is. So again, that's what your goal should be, is to have every piece spin at the same time that it's translating. Okay? So that's it. That's the video on how to extend your animation, make it look a lot cooler.